Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Having a great Saturday so far, guys, without the elements of football. Sadly, we're not playing today, isn't it? There's no Premier League football today, of course. Nothing going on. We're just gone back to default settings for a normal Saturday. Absolutely. Relax, have a cup of tea, sit down, chill out, do what you like. You know what I mean? What's a bit of, you know, what? Not Generation Game. It's not Generation Game these days, is it? They don't have Generation Game or Noel Edmonds' house party on anymore, do they? Yeah. Now it is a peaceful day today. No football on and stuff like that. So there you go. But at least I thought it was a peaceful day. Twitter has gone mad. We've got revisionism about certain ex-players. We've got arguments going on in regards to the Glazers and Ineos. Some people are still supporting the Glazers and Ineos. Can you believe it? Do they have a screw loose? I don't know. Maybe they do. I mean, I don't know. No discrimination here. But it does seem that way, doesn't it? It does seem like they have a little bit of a screw loose right there. You know what I mean? You know, that vital little component there. I mean, come on, guys. You know what I mean? Whether you support Ineos or you don't support Ineos, at the moment, listen, you know what? They can. At the end of the day, I don't know any smart person who supports something blindly. I don't, any person who doesn't take the evidence, the overwhelming evidence from the last year and doesn't take it into account, you know, now. You know, it is a little bit crazy that some people do still that, but, you know, each to their own at the end of the day. We live in a democracy and people are going to be supporting what they want to support at the end of the day. So that is just the way it is, to be honest, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please don't forget to smash a like as well on the video. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, a little bit of news before I start about Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, of course, is going to capture the interest of various clubs around Europe, not least Bayern Munich. According to German reports, Bruno Fernandes is heavily linked with Bayern Munich. Of course, it was thought that Bruno will be going to Saudi Arabia, but Bayern Munich are coming to the equation and are ready to make an offer for Bruno Fernandes. If it's going to be around the £100 million offer, that is another story. But given the fact that Bruno Fernandes and Bayern Munich, you know, might be a much better match made in heaven, it's not a match made in heaven for Manchester United because Manchester United need the money. And what are Bayern going to offer? You know, they're not going to offer that amount of money for Bruno Fernandes. Of course they're not. So, obviously, big news there in regards to Bruno Fernandes. It does look like Bruno Fernandes will leave, although Ruben Amorim has come out recently, just in the last few hours, and said that Bruno Fernandes is not for sale. Now, guys, I don't know what you make of this. Look, you know what? I don't like this hugging of players. I don't like this worshipping of certain individuals. I don't like that. I just don't think that these players are at all good enough mentally, and I don't think that they're going to take us forward. I think we do need to move on from, you know, what has been, to be honest with you, hampering us a little bit because we stay too loyal to certain players. We stay too focused on one player, and we say, "Oh, this is our savior." We need a team. That's what Man United need. Man United need a team. You know, regardless how respected these players are, Man United are not a team at the moment. We need a team. That's what we need at the end of the day. Let's read some of your comments, guys. Bloody hell, Lucky Singh, you've gone in on one. I'm not going to read all those, but big up, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back in Stalybridge, my friend. Good to see you back. Big up, Danny B. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Evening, Sal. Evening, Freya. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well, my guy. I hope everything is good with you. Big up, Sal. Tomorrow will be a pointless game. It's going to be one of the most pointless watch-alongs I've ever done. You know, definitely, except for the England friendlies or the England games, really. You know what I mean? But it is going to be one of those games where, you know what, nothing rides on the game and, you know, we're just going to be here chilling. Last game of the season, let's just enjoy it. And that's what I would say. We enjoy it. We're last game of the season and just go through the motions and see what happens, you know, because I do know after this game, that's it. That's when the party starts, isn't it? Where transfer news is going to start becoming allowed. You know, we're going to get our transfer hats on, you know, and I'll be traveling the world trying to find out, guys. I'll be here with you live as well. So, you know what? Let's look forward to it, guys. Let's look forward to it. We have to take the positives out of every little negative, of course. Good afternoon, everyone. Sheffield United versus Sunderland Premier League Players Final today at 3 p.m. Thank you so much, my guy, Triple M. Yeah, we're not going to do a watch-along for that, but you know what? Good luck to Sunderland. I want Sunderland to win. I don't want Sheffield United going in the Premier League again and getting relegated again. You know what I mean? That's Sunderland are pointless. Sheffield United are pointless. Sheffield United are pointless. Let me just say it. Big up, Court Star. Good to have you back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is cool with you. Good to see you, man. Absolutely. Glazers out not fans have loose fittings. They do, mate. They have a loose head. Not pointless yet. Chelsea's fate is not in our hands. That's true, though, the bosses, isn't it? There you go, guys. So what do we do, the bosses? What do we do? Do we throw the game? You know what I mean? Man United don't need to throw the game tomorrow. Man United don't need to throw the game tomorrow. Man United are going to throw it themselves. You know what I mean? They're just not good enough. They probably lose anyway. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Aston Villa could throw the game. Man United just still lose. Let me tell you that right now. Absolutely. Big up. Ephraim. Good afternoon, Sal. Why are the owners cannot tell us if Bruno will go or not? Because they keep their cards right close to their chest and they don't like doing anything like that. They create toxicity and they seem to love it, of course. Absolutely. Napoli and AC Milan. We should learn to live without Bruno. I agree, Fred. This is a very important point from Fred, you know. We should learn to live without Bruno. We've learned to live without Beckham. We've learned to live without Cantona. We've learned to live without Hughes. We've learned to live without Paul Ince. We've learned to live without great players in our history. We've learned to live without Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, we just have to move on from this. Why do we get so sentimental with players? If this was Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or Barcelona, it wouldn't be this infatuation, like, you know, this sentimental feelings towards certain players. It wouldn't be like that, would it? Absolutely not. Ephraim, why Amram said, where we are not lucky, we are the better team. I do not think like that. We are not lucky. We are the better team. No. To be honest with you, in life in general, Ephraim, in life in general, you make your own luck, and we are not good enough. It's as simple as that. We have to face facts. Part of improvement in life in general is accountability. And part of improvement is admitting your flaws and your weaknesses. And I think that Ruben Amorim knows. Ruben Amorim's already said it. He's already said it, though, isn't he? He's already said this is the worst Man United team in history. So he's not going to go back on that. He knows it. He's just covering it up now. He knows that this is the worst Man United side in history. He was just told not to say that. You know what I mean? But this is the worst Man United side in history. So, of course, he knows that this side isn't good enough. Against Tottenham Hotspur, I think Man United were the better team. I thought Man United dominated the game, but Man United didn't score great chances. Man United were not clinical. Man United, you know, if they really, really wanted it, could have won the game, regardless if Mason Mount or Garnacho was playing. Whoever was playing, Man United should have won that game anyway. But we don't score goals. And that's the evidence. You don't score goals, you don't win games. And that is the overriding fact here, you know? Many people said if Man United, and I even said it as well, if Man United concede the first goal, we're in trouble. And we said it all in this stream way before. You know, we said it. If Man United concede the first goal, we're in trouble. And lo and behold, trouble is there. Big up, Abel. How you doing? Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. The only problem in the squad is an attacking department, starting from the midfield up to the attackers. Yeah, Fred, look, you know what? I'm not too worried about the defense, but I am worried about the goalkeeper a little bit. I think Man United do need a better goalkeeper. In regards to the biggest problem at Manchester United right now, it is goal scoring. Absolutely, Fred. We need a completely revamp, a complete new goals attacking forward line. You know, we need 3-4 new attacking players and a midfielder. Definitely, Fred. And I hope that Man United managed to get that. If Man United managed to get a new striker, 2 number 10s, and a midfielder, then let's do it. Let's do it. But at the end of the day, I don't like this, this sentimental feelings towards players. You know, I know he's Portuguese. I know that Bruno's Portuguese. But, you know, come on, mate. Come on. We need to move on. We need to move on. Get some younger players in there. Get some more players. Because, in my opinion, Bruno's not going to take us to where we need to go. Simple as that. The culture comes from up top, period. Absolutely, Triple M. People don't understand about this. I've been, you know, people have been going backwards and forwards on my Twitter today about culture. They're saying, oh, but the Glazers don't. The Glazers, what happens on the pitch is not the Glazers. Who we've signed is not the Glazers. I mean, these people, they might as well wear a Glazers t-shirt with a Glazers hat. You know what I mean? You know, like Donald Trump, another one of those Glazers, you know what I mean? Make Man United great again kind of cap. You know what I mean? That's what they need with the Glazers on it. You know, absolute pathetic excuse for fans at the end of the day. The people who have single-handedly destroyed this football club, including the football stadium, right, are not to blame, apparently, are not to blame for this shit show, apparently. You know, these people are absolutely nutters, man. Honest to God, I tell you right now, they're absolute crazy. Sick in the head. Absolutely. Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Santos waiting for offers. Absolutely. Bruno is not Messiah. We can do better without him. I think so as well, man. I don't think so. I don't think, look, when I look at Bruno, I don't think Bruno is a captain material. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think he's a captain material. I think he's a good player, but not a world-class player. He has world-class moments, but he's not a world-class player in general. He just has world-class moments, and that's it. And I think Man United do need better than him going forward, of course, guys. Absolutely. Exactly. We started by 0, please, Jesus and management. Let's not. We're all Ruben Amorim here. Ruben Amorim in here, Abel. Just to let you know, we support the manager, and we're going to support the manager because the manager is not the problem, Abel. Okay, if you understand what I mean, we're not slagging off the manager here. It comes from the top, so we need to concentrate on the top. Don't need to write 100 messages, Abel. I get you, man. I get you, but we're not slagging the manager off here on this channel. What the Ineos and Amorim need to do is recruit new players that aren't known by so many as we can build their career, but not bring in big names and big players. I think so. I think so. You know, it is a balance, isn't it, Fred? It is a balance at the end of the day. Like, you know what? If someone told me right now we could sign Cherky, I would get Cherky. I would. If someone told, I mean, Cunha is not a world, you know, in the grand scheme of things, Cunha is not like a world-renowned name, is he? Of course, rejected at Atletico Madrid, Wolves player. Those are the type of players we need. Obviously, in Wemo, that you know that type of player that is not a worldwide name, but you know gives 100% every single game. He's got talent, can create chances. You know what I mean. Up here, he's got it up here as well. When the going gets tough, he's got it up here. You know, this team confused me because I've seen Man United go head to head with Man City. Right, and beat them in an FA Cup final. And I've seen these players, Garnacho turn up, Mainu turn up, Bruno turn up. And it does seem a little bit strange to me. I've seen this same team go against Liverpool as well, you know, and go toe-to-toe with Liverpool, you know. I've seen the same thing, you know what I mean, with other teams that we played, like Chelsea. No, not Chelsea so much, but Liverpool, who is it? Man City as well. Yeah, Liverpool, Man City, and everything. Goodness me, I've forgotten the team's name now. You know what I mean? Liverpool. Yeah. Anyway, Arsenal. That's it. Arsenal. For goodness me, I forgot Arsenal's name. Asda. At the end of the day, that was it. But yeah, Arsenal as well. We've gone toe to toe to them with 10 men. Do you know what I mean? And I don't understand these players, the mentality of these players. Is it just some games they perform? Maybe, just maybe, guys, we would have been better off playing Arsenal, Liverpool, or Chelsea, or Man City. Not Chelsea, but Man City in the final than Tottenham, in my opinion. You know? Big up. Onana reflexes are so slow, and Amorim and the board should do something at the goalkeeper. If they do not think, Fred, if they do not think that the goalkeeper is a problem, they're the problem. Onana is a problem. Onana is not good enough as a Manchester United goalkeeper. De Gea was in goal on Wednesday. If De Gea was in goal, if Van der Sar was in goal, if Schmeichel was in goal, heck, if Tim Howard, if Valdez, if Carroll were in goal, they would have saved that against Tottenham in Wednesday. And those are the fine margins, because I firmly believe that at that point in the game, Man United were getting into it. Man United was starting to move it around and you know what I mean? And that just totally knocked the stuffing out of us. Absolutely. All that we lacking is in team is finishing and creative in terms we do unexpected counter-attacks. Absolutely, my friend. Now, I want to talk about something that has been going on all day long. People have been talking about McTominay. Congratulations to Scott McTominay, by the way. But people have been talking about, oh, but I told you so. He was good enough for Man United. You know what I mean? He's good enough for Man United. You know, guys, look. Man United is a cesspit of toxicity. Man United, you know, these players had a chance to play for Man United. They played for Man United. It didn't work out. Move on. You know, I've had people comparing Antony with Arjen Robben and Saka today. Guys, please listen. I've had people with comparing Antony to Saka to Saka and Arjen Robben, who's one of the best wingers ever, right? I've had people doing that. I've had people saying we were wrong to sell McTominay. These players had a chance to play for Man United. Now, there are a number of reasons why these players fail, right? There are a number of reasons, right? I went against the McTominay sale, and I'm still not. Maybe Serie A is the league for McTominay. He suits that league. You know, it's more his style. It's not the same quality and intensity as the Premier League. Maybe he does that. Maybe that is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I've seen Di Maria. I've seen great players come to this football club and fail. Maybe the shirt is too heavy. What is this all revisionism going on? What is all this? Oh, we shouldn't have sold them. We shouldn't have sold that. We shouldn't. Look, I'm not saying that the current team are good. But what I'm saying is that those players didn't do anything for us. They had an opportunity. At the end of the day, that is what it is. You know, and that people are still like on this emotional, sentimental feelings between players. I congratulate those players for doing well, but they didn't do well for Man United. So I don't really care, to be honest with you. Maybe that the club is too big. You know, and as I told many people, aside from that, the culture at the football club is the problem. So no player, no matter if it's Lamine Yamal can come into this football club and change things because we are a toxic mess. You know, and people are not looking at it. Just look at him. He's doing so well at Napoli. We are the problem. We know we're the problem. We're part of the problem. But it doesn't mean that Scott McTominay was Zinedine Zidane. He was not. You know what I mean? This is the thing. He done well. Great. I applaud him for that. But man, let's not sit here and pretend that we weren't happy when McTominay was sold. The price was low, you know, as we said then. Praise him. What's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Roy is right for criticizing Bruno because he is always moans that the referee becomes invisible big matches and possession many times. If it's a should, as I said, Prazen, as I said, don't you find it incredible that Bruno raised his game? Don't you find it incredible that Bruno raised his game when Roy Keane gave him criticism? Like I said the other day. Maybe Roy Keane should come out and give Bruno criticism every single week because it might make him perform. You know, as soon as the Saudi links come, etc., he doesn't perform. Great captain. You know what I mean? I'm tired of... Look, listen, guys. I have no affiliation with any of these players. I have no feelings for any of these players. I've seen great players. I've seen my team win trebles. I've seen it. I don't care about these players anymore. They let me down. They let me down. On Wednesday was our most embarrassing defeat I've ever witnessed as a Manchester United fan. And I've seen us lose 3-0 to York City. In front of the world, we played Tottenham and we were embarrassed by Tottenham Hotspur. We let Tottenham Hotspur win a bloody trophy. I will never forgive those players. You know, and part of me is like Amram as well. Amram is on a tightrope as well. Ruben Amram is not invincible in this. He's on a tightrope as well. But I'm giving him this summer and I'm giving him this transfer window. And I'm going to see how it starts next season. And I'll tell you, we better start improving because I'm tired of this every single year. You know what I mean? The same old crap we've seen, you know, at the end of the day. Seeing our rivals win a league. Last year, seeing Man City winning a treble, you know, 4 times in a row as well. It is absolutely... You know, it's a horrible time. You know what I mean? Ephraim, the best thing Amaran can coming out now is no. What is the problem? The problem is many things, you know, and the problem might actually not be the thing that he thinks is the problem, but it is the problem. Do you know what I mean? McTominay was never good for Man United, offered absolutely nothing in midfield. You know what, the way whether we used him right or not, you know what I mean? He didn't do what he did at Man United, but the Serie A is completely different. La Liga is completely different. You know, these people don't understand that. They don't take it into context what's going on here. Serie A is not a good league anymore. You know, we have Inter Milan and that's about it at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, you think about players, it's not only about the quality, it's also about the style. The style of the league. The style of the league might suit McTominay better. The style of the La Liga might suit Antony better. This is what they're saying. Cutting. All Antony does, cut and shoot, cut and shoot, cut and shoot. He was defended pretty well in England. You know, they managed to cope with him in England pretty well, didn't they? The fact that we have never had any control in these games is worrying. The owner, the manager, and the players collectively failed the fans. They must all turn up. Absolutely, RD. You know, on Wednesday, I felt an absolute embarrassed to be a Manchester United fan. Embarrassing. I felt for the fans that travelled all that way. You know what I mean? Apart from a few of them who I don't really care about, but you know what I mean? But I felt for the fans that travelled all that way from various parts of the world, you know, getting cars, getting planes, getting private jets, etc. I felt for them, you know, and these players don't really care. They'll come out and say, "Oh, you know what? We have to do better. We're not good enough to play for Man United." If you're not good enough to play for Man United, and it comes out the dog's mouth, right? If you're not good enough to play for Man United, then leave the football club. Do that. Leave. You know what I mean? Goodness me. Sal, if the team pick was correct, do you think we can win? Ephraim, at the end of the day, regardless what the team was, none of us were complaining before the game. Hindsight is a beautiful thing. You know, if the team was picked, maybe we would have won. Yeah, maybe. But that team was good enough to beat a weakened Spurs, a very weak Spurs. We had Bruno. We had Casemiro. You know, we had Ahmad. You know, those three players we had there. It's more than what we had all season, you know, at the end of the day. And I felt we should have beat them. Anyway, Stevie, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Has there ever been a time after Fergie that you've been truly happy with Man United and the performances? It seems like the negativity has been going on forever, like a bad spell. I honestly think we're cursed, Steve. I'll be honest with you, mate. Have I ever felt like Man United were coming back? I think the most positive I've ever felt, Steve, there's a couple of times. The first time is when we won the Europa League under Jose Mourinho. I really felt that we were back. I really felt after winning the League Cup and winning the Europa League that we were back after that. I did, honestly. The second time is when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into the club, funny enough, when we won all those games in a row. And I was starting to think, well, you know what? This could be it. You know what I mean? And then obviously it came crashing down. And also, I've been talking a lot about revisionism in this stream. And a lot of people have been talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today. Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will forever be a Manchester United legend, will forever be a Manchester United great, right? In regards to his playing. As a manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a weak manager. And that is it. He was a weak manager. He apologized to Marcus Rashford. He called out Marcus Rashford before and then afterwards apologized to Marcus Rashford. Who apologized to Marcus Rashford? That's weak. You know, and that's what I say. And then obviously we lost all those games and he kept losing. And then they down-tooled. And again, mentality, culture, they down-tooled those players. As soon as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got signed that contract, it started to go like that again, didn't it? You know, because they thought, we got Ole now for a couple of years. We could take it easy. It's crazy, man. Honest to God. I don't know where I stand with this team. Antony is the GOAT. Seriously, though, I'm happy for him doing so well at Betis. Kyrie, I'm happy for him doing well at Betis. But this Arhan Robben Saka comparison is blasphemy, in my opinion, Kyrie. I'm happy for him in there. And I hope that these teams love him enough to spend some money on him. You know what I mean? The fans are the problem. A lot of the fans are the problem. Definitely not me, though. I've been calling it out from day one. The same people are slaving of McTominay. McTominay is doing well in a weaker league, Ephraim. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think that McTominay doing well has any bearing on what Man United did to get rid of him. He needed to go, in my opinion. It wasn't good enough. He wanted to go. Ineos got rid of him. You know, and that is that. Stop the revisionism and all that business. You know, no one insulted Scott McTominay. They criticized him. No one insulted him. At least not from my side. Amram showed Southgate tendencies in the final. Worry him. Wesley Mank, you're not wrong there. But what I would say is that Amram doesn't have the luxury of picking a world-class generational 11. You know? Southgate did. You know? Ruben Amram is 40. Southgate's late 50s, mid-50s. You know, at the end of the day, managers learn. Alex Ferguson done it wrong against Barcelona twice. He done it wrong in 1995 against Everton. He done it wrong in various finals, 9 finals in total. He done it wrong. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So managers make mistakes. The one thing I would urge Ruben Amram, right? He's got to get away from the favoritism. Because this is what killed Erik ten Hag, and this is what's killed various other managers before him, you know? Colts, I'll give Amram time and hope he's backed properly in the summer, but he, along with our players, fouled us on Wednesday. I'm still vexed. Me too, Colts. I am vexed. Embarrassed, I would say, Colts, if I'm being honest with you, because I couldn't see a way that Tottenham were going to beat us, especially without Kulusevski, Maddison, and obviously... who else was missing for them? What's the other guy missing for them? Kulusevski, Maddison, and who's the other guy was missing for them the other night? Who was it? Kulusevski, Maddison, and Bergville, right? So I couldn't see a way Man United could lose that game. The only concern I had is that if Tottenham defend really deep, which they did, and if they scored first, that was my biggest problem. But Man United were playing a very, very weak Tottenham. I've seen a lot of weak Tottenham sides in my lifetime, but I've never seen a Tottenham side as weak as that. And we lost that game, and we didn't even... I mean, we had a goal cleared off the line, a couple of chances here and there. Maybe the referee was a bit on their side and stuff like that. But ultimately, we were just simply not good enough against the Tottenham side, and we've embarrassed ourselves in front of the whole world. We're Manchester United, and we've embarrassed ourselves in front of the whole world. Now, look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I said it. I'm not. No manager, no player is exempt from criticism. None of them. And if it gets to next season and improvement, if he gets backed, by the way, exactly, Courts. If he gets backed, by the way, and we're still not showing signs of improvement, then what do I do? Do I just back him blindly? No. I'm not like those other people who back Ineos blindly. I don't. I would say, look, he's got to do better and we need another manager. Because at the end of the day, look, you know what? This is a results business and we can't keep losing football matches. Now, we've embarrassed ourselves in front of the whole world. Amaran's probably embarrassed himself anyway. He probably feels it himself that his reputation is by the week going down the drain. But as you said there, Courts, you know, let's give him this summer. Let's get some of the players in and let's see how we start next season. But that all boils down to Ineos, isn't it? It all boils down to the Glazers. It all boils down to them and see what they can do. If they can mean business. Are they only interested in a regeneration project or do they really care about what's going on at Man United? There you go, Courts. So, who in their right mind would really want to come to United knowing how bad the Glazers and Ineos are? Would you apply for not a job knowing how bad the owners were? They've handled the staff. You know, one thing I would say, Steve, football heritage, right? Football heritage can only last so long. Man United were a very attractive proposition for many players. That's why Angel Di Maria came to Man United, even though we weren't in Europe. You know, Ibrahimovic and Falcao and players like that came to Man United, Schweinsteiger. You know, but one thing I would say is that over the years, Man United have got significantly worse. And the generations going back, let's say 19-year-olds, right? 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds, let's say 20-year-olds to make it easy on my maths, right? 20-year-olds were born in 2005, sorry. There you go, my maths. 2005, right? 20-year-olds are born in 2005, okay? Now, the people born in 2005 would have been 5 years old in 2010, 10 years old in 2015. So those players who are 20 now, right, do not know or remember a good Man United. So a lot of the young players now are going to think, apart from Lenny Euro, who's done his research, he knows about Man United, a lot of players are going to think, Man United are a toxic mess. If we won the Europa League final, it would have been a saviour for Man United. Literally a life support machine. That's what it would have been. But now we lost to Tottenham. People are looking at Man United and thinking, what's attractive about Man United? And you're absolutely right, Steve. There isn't anything attractive about Man United. But will Man United sign players? Well, we've just signed Ineos, Starboys, Vivel, Brailsford, Wilcox, you know, Barada. These guys get paid the big bucks to negotiate, to persuade. The art of persuasion, that's what they are here for. So let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can get us. We're still the biggest club in the world. We can use that. We're not the most best club in the world. Definitely not. Far from it. Not even in the top 100 at the moment. But you know what? We're definitely the biggest. You know, and that is the only thing we can throw at the moment. But there's only so long that can last, of course. RD, what's going on? Us fans should never let go of the principles and standards. If we accept mediocrity, our club will slowly die. Unfortunately, what we need is Man United need to be hard. And what that by I mean is we need to be ruthless, scary, intimidating, but we're not. The protests would go without a flinch for the Glazers. We want Glazers out. Say, we want Glazers out. We want Glazers out. Fair play to them. Fair play to them. Fair play. But it's not budging, is it? It's not going to scare the Glazers. As I said, I get called worse on my Twitter page. You know what I mean? It's not at the end of the day. You know? And I think we need a much more ruthless campaign. Much more ruthless campaign. that the Glazers have no doubt but to sell the club. You know? Like I was saying, passion, desire players. We are looking for big clubs that suit the Premier League. Absolutely. Freya, how far is Gyokeres still going? Because they're eager to know what is going on. And look, as I said, Freya, you may hear something after the game against Aston Villa. There might be some big news in regards to Manchester United. But this is a big transfer, a huge transfer. There are 3 scenarios here at the moment. What's going on? Gyokeres can either sign for Arsenal, Man United, or stay at Sporting Lisbon for 1 more year. That obviously is going on and on. I would like to think, Freya, that Ineos and the Glazers, or whatever, forget the Glazers, but Ineos and our team are actually right now negotiating with players in and out. You know, I actually hope that is going on at the moment. I wouldn't hold my breath, but I hope that is what's going on at the moment. Do you know what I mean? But we'll have to wait and see until the end of the season, because we won't hear nothing until the season is up. Now, Sal, is Gyokeres' hope a reality? Hope is a reality, Ephraim. There is hope. Man United are about 30-40% sure that they can get Gyokeres. Now, that's not much. People may not think it's much, but this is still early days in regards to the negotiation period and trying to persuade. It shows you that if Man United won the Europa League, Man United would have got Gyokeres pretty easily. There is a big decision to be made by Gyokeres. There is hope that he will choose Man United. Ruben Amorim effect, stuff like that. This is what we can use Ruben Amorim for. There is hope that he can actually, sign for Man United. But that would be great. But it's not the only signing we need, though. We need a lot more, don't we? We need another number 10. We need another midfielder. We need another right wing back. That's what we need. I think Amorim gave the trophy away so that the fan can realize what is the problem, so that they pressurize the board to change the team's current situation. No, Fred, that's not. No. They don't give away trophies. Throw away 100 million in transfer funds. No way. That's not what he did. Definitely not, mate. I don't think football works like that. These are professionals. I don't think football works like that, mate. Not in England. Definitely not. RD, we should have never let go of the Van Gaal at the time. He was generally building something. We just couldn't see it at the time. What he was able to do with an average academy isn't praise enough. It was a bad one. He played bad football, RD. His football was terrible. People were leaving Old Trafford at half time. That's the problem. Very boring manager. Unfortunately, he did. Remember this, guys. He had Falcao, he had Angel Di Maria. He had these players to his disposal as well. And I just don't think he was the right fit. I never felt that Louis van Gaal was the right fit. Never. And I'll tell you why. During the 90s, when I used to watch, when Man United were playing Barcelona, when Louis van Gaal was the Barcelona manager, Louis van Gaal kept making tactical mistakes and was shown up by Man United. Louis van Gaal was not the guy. Definitely not. Was he badly treated? Yeah, he was badly treated, but definitely not a Man United manager, in my opinion. Ephraim, if the working environment is not good, it will be difficult to work. Absolutely. People don't understand that, do they? Does Sir Alex seeing what is wrong with the team, or is ignoring the situation? I don't think he even cares, mate. I don't think he even cares. And when I saw him shaking hands with the Glazers and Jim Ratcliffe, along with Gary Neville and Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville and Paul Scholes, should I say, sorry, it made me sick, to be honest, to my stomach. I felt like, puking, when I saw that, because is this some cool sort of sick joke to them? These fans traveling around the world, the Glazer out movements, is this some sort of sick joke to them? If I was Alex Ferguson, I wouldn't show my face. He's the one who put the Glazers. I wouldn't show my face in front of the Glazers ever again. But he'll never call out the Glazers. Neither will Paul Scholes. Neither will Gary Neville. It's all about a conflict of interest, isn't it? Playing like Southgate is easy. Amorim playing style need players who suit the system. Southgate don't win. That's the problem. Sal, big up Gyokeres. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Kyrie, we've hit rock bottom, 5-6 quality signings. I truly believe we can bounce back. Come on, my guy. Come on, my girl, my guy, whoever. Kyrie, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Gyokeres, Amram is the vaccine to these toxins in the dressing room. Ineos need to back him or we are doomed. And I completely agree with that, Jengers. 100% agree with that. Wholeheartedly agree with that, my friend. Absolutely. Ephraim, if our owners were good enough, I will not be worried that much are losing of the final. Yeah, Ephraim, of course, we got the worst owners in the world, isn't it? And that is the biggest worry. You know, we got the Ineos who facilitated the Glazers, and now we are hanging by a thread at the moment, hoping that the Glazers and Ineos do something special this summer. You know, build up our spirits a little bit. Wouldn't that be nice? Build up the fan spirit. Keep this football club running. You know, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? You know, think about the fans for once. RD. We need an empty stadium for 5 games straight. These owners only care when their pockets are affected. RD, I cannot agree more, mate. You're absolutely spot on, mate. We need an empty stadium. It has been a godsend for a very, very long time, and we've never done it. When we cancelled the game against Liverpool, that was the only time that the Glazers piped up and started speaking and created an online meeting with the fans. Unfortunately, when the Glazers arranged a meeting with the fans get starstruck. The fans get, you know, they go quiet and you know, passive. We need a movement that is a proper movement. We need emptying stadiums. We need aggression. We need intimidation. We need to be scary. Unfortunately, we're not. We're not. And I applaud every single one of the people who do those protests, because it's not easy to make protests and get people involved in protests. It's hard. You know, and those people are risking themselves as well. You know, they're risking their livelihood, criminal records, things like that. You know, I just feel like it's just, I'm so disillusioned with the whole thing. It feels like forever, as I heard earlier in the chat. It feels like forever since we've had a proper football team. We really do need this football team back, don't we? We really do. Big up, Lucky Singh. Yeah, big up. Steve. Sal, do you think the negativity around the Glazers centers around the overpaying for players and they don't want to come here in the first place? It's the money that changes the player's mind. It's not a bad point, Steve. At the end of the day, you know, what we need to concentrate on, and which I'm hoping that we are changing right now, is players who want to play for this football club. We've had a few prima donnas come to Man United over the last few years who we've been very excited about and flattered to deceive when they came in, you know, and maybe they came for the money, you know. Man United used to be an attractive proposition to any player in the world because we were successful on the football pitch. We had a legacy. We had a respect. These days, why would you want to come to Manchester United? It rains. We're not successful. We're an embarrassment. We destroy players. We destroy managers. What is the main incentive to come to Manchester United right now? The past. And that is it. We can sell a project to these players in regards to the past, where we're going, what we want to go, what we want to achieve. But it doesn't mean that these players are going to come anymore. You know, so we've got these ownerships that we hope that will sway these players and convince them of a project. But these players are not going to come in if they see Tyler Dibbling and they see Liam Delap coming into the football club. They see a bunch of 19-year-olds coming into the football club. If they, for example, if they saw the likes of Gyokeres and Cunha and Cherki and Edison, you know, it would be a little bit different. They think, well, they're building something here. But at the moment, you go around Europe, you go around the world, we are a laughing stock. Even here in the UAE, we are a laughing stock. I never thought I'd see the day that we would be a laughing stock, you know. Freya. They chase Ferguson at the board so they can do their shit. Yeah. Shane, what's going on, Shane? Good to see you. We need to stop selling players on the cheap as well, Shane. That's a good point. No matter what you feel about Scott McTominay is not a £25 million player. We knew it before we sold him, that Scott McTominay's 50 at least, right? At the time, right? And we sold him for 25.6 million or something like that. It's absolute robbery. to be honest with you. Absolute robbery. Disgusting that we sell a player for that much money. You know, no one should be invincible at Man United, but at the same time, we didn't replace these players. You know, we sold a lot of players. We still haven't replaced Antony. Look, this is the thing about Ruben Amorim, right? A lot of people saying, "Oh, well, Ten Hag done better." Ten Hag had more players than Ruben Amorim. Ten Hag had McTominay. Ten Hag had Antony. Ten Hag had Rashford. Ten Hag had Malacia. You know what I mean? As well as the players he's already got. He had those players to choose from. And you know what? Played the false number 9 in the FA Cup final with McTominay, and it worked very well. We don't have that luxury. You know, we got midgets as attackers. Let's be real here. We got midgets as attackers. You know? Kyrie, let's hope that we can quickly get Cunha and Gyokeres over the line in the next week or so. Give it a go. I hope so. The transfer window does open on the 1st of June, of course. So let's hope that something happens there. Pretty significant. Let's hope so. I'm pretty sure that it will. I hope so. I've got my fingers crossed, of course. Got everything crossed, of course. Beef Bully, what's going on? So Arsenal next year will win the Premier League. Gyokeres goes over. Arsenal won't win the league regardless, mate. Trust me. I mark my words, Beef. They won't. Even if they get Gyokeres, they won't win the league. Next year will be better. It can't get any worse, can it? At the end of the day, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse than it is right now. Absolutely not. My goodness me. Can you imagine? No, it gets any worse, we're relegated. You know, we might come 17th this weekend, and then that's it at the end of the day, isn't it? You know? But yeah, overall, guys, it is a cesspit of negativity going on at Man United at the moment. The online people are coming on, you know. There is a cesspit of negativity. There is a lot of anger going on. You know, and, you know, I hope we bypass it and we get past it, of course. Yale, Liverpool will win it next year. They lost one player, getting 3 massive players in. Yale, they've signed 2 very good players, 2 of the best players in the world at the moment, up-and-coming players in the world at the moment. What can we say? One thing about Liverpool, and it pains me to say it, but Liverpool, they move like a Man United should be moving. They got rid of Trent and brought in Frimpong. I predicted it months ago. As soon as Trent goes, I said, I guarantee you they've already struck up Frimpong. And what happened? Florian Wirtz, £100 million player, almost through the door. Like this. And they've just won the league. If anything about Liverpool you can praise, and I don't like doing it, but they do know how to get business done. They got McAllister, you know, for cheap. I mean, they know how to do business. We don't. We just get made to look fools. Liverpool signings are making me scared. Shane, I don't know about scared. Disappointed. Because I'm never going to be scared of any football team, you know, but I'm very disappointed in what's going on at the moment, Shane. I'll be honest with you, mate. I am disillusioned and not looking forward to the season. But that can all change. We're not going to get Florian Wirtz and Frimpong type players. Let's put that away right now. But it's not all about names. They might come and flop. I know it's wishful thinking, but they might go to Liverpool and flop. Who knows? At the end of the day, maybe I'm just dreaming. But one thing is, Liverpool are in a very, very good position. You know, and it's sad for Manchester United, you know. They are Liverpool. They are Conrad. And one other thing I would say is that Newcastle United have not flexed their muscles yet. Newcastle have Saudi owners and they've not flexed their muscles yet. They've not really gone in yet. Wait till Newcastle get their FFP and PSR straight. Wait till that happens. You know, we're going to be behind Liverpool. We're going to be behind Man City. We're going to be behind Newcastle. We're going to be behind maybe even Tottenham. We're going to be behind Arsenal. We're going to be behind Aston Villa. Look, that's not to mention Nottingham Forest and teams like that. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we've got to do something quite spectacular, monumental, generational this summer. Generational, amazing, you know? Big up Lucky Singh. Steve, so all the good teams this transfer window are going to get better, great teams. We aren't even getting a good team yet. Exactly. going to take us a couple of years to get it right. I mean, it might even take longer, Steve, depending how we move. You know, it depends how we move as a football club. If we get rid of 20 players like Ruben Amorim was allowed at Sporting Lisbon, and we get the players in, it could be 2 years. You know, but there's no excuse not to improve next season, Steve. Man United should be a lot higher next season in the league. Should qualify for Europe, I think. We down-tooled this year. I'm not going to even lie. Man United down-tooled in many games this year. They didn't really try. You know, there were many games that we didn't really do it. But I also would bring in this, right? If we're going to have a little bit of positivity, and I know I'm clutching at straws here, guys, but just hear me out. Right, let me land. If we're gonna have a little bit of positivity, I would say Man United lost many games by the single goal. Man United lost many games by the single goal. Maybe if we can change those single goal losses into wins, maybe we can. If we have a striker, things might be significantly different. You know, I'm catching on straws, of course. Liverpool are a popular club. I hate to say it as well, mate, but they always have been. You know what I mean? They're showing us up. What we prided ourselves on, Liverpool are doing. We should do the way Liverpool and Chelsea did. They're now on. From now on, what I would do if I was Jim Ratcliffe, and if Jim Ratcliffe really cared about this football club, he wouldn't care about FFP, he wouldn't care about PSR. He would risk a 10-point deduction. He would risk a fine. He would just get on with it and sign the players that we need to sign and worry about everything else afterwards. Because then you would know that Man United have improved. Man United have the team that have improved. That's what we need. You know, absolutely. Yale, Howie is really good manager. He has been unable to use the resources of the club yet. When he can start picking his own, to be honest, he's more scary than what Liverpool were doing. We ain't even reached the bottom of the beat. I mean, he was schooled by Erik ten Hag in the League Cup final, by the way. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. When Newcastle flex their muscles, there's a big pressure on Howie to succeed at Newcastle, of course, you know, because they're going to be spending money. I think Ruben Amorim is one of the best managers in the world. In an environment that is completely toxic, sick, cancerous, you name it. That guy, if you know what he was doing for Sporting Lisbon, if you see the football they were playing, not only in the Portuguese league, but in the Champions League, squashes what Howie's doing. Sporting Lisbon will play that Newcastle team right now and mash them off the park with Ruben Amorim. Unfortunately, we don't have the team, the mentality of the players, the culture at the football club is wrong. And this is why you can tell from Ruben Amorim that if he really wants that, he won't walk out, I think. Reality is we need the best summer in a long time to get top six. A ton of outgoings and signings of Ederson, Gyokeres, and wingbacks and goalie. I agree, Shane. Spot on. To be honest with you, I would like to think that they're getting on with it right now. You know, I would like to think that they're on the phone right now, doing things right now, working hard right now, because we got a lot of work to do, haven't we? You know, I would like to think that. In my heart of hearts, would I put my house on it and my mortgage? No. But I hope that everything has gone pretty quiet in regards to Ineos, hasn't it? Recently, apart from that little vote of confidence for Ruben Amorim. I hope that they are making a move. You know what I mean? I really do, because there is a lot of work to do. According to you, is Bruno leaving? Ruben Amorim is a staunch supporter of Bruno Fernandes. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno Fernandes stayed, if I'm being honest. Do I think he will leave? 60% yes, 50%, 40% no. It's close. It's close. Maybe even closer. 55, 45. That he will go. 55 is going to go. 45 is going to stay. Something like that. Freya. The problem is that they aren't sure how they are bid the price of Haaland, Onana, and avoid having a loss. This is the problem, Freya, because we have to avoid PSR. But you know what Man United need to do, Freya? Ignore PSR. Ignore FFP. Get the team in. Worry about the fines and the points deductions afterwards. Have a bit of guts. You know, that's what they need, because that's what Man United need to have. If they really care about success on the football pitch, they won't care about silly little PSR and FFP. Man City don't. Nothing's happened to them so far. I don't want Liam Delap, Shane. What I would say about it is that I don't mind Liam Delap if we're signing a striker with Liam Delap. For example, we signed Gyokeres or Osman with Liam Delap. You know, Liam Delap scored 12 goals this season. It's more than any of our strikers, by the way. Anyway, but will he take Man United? Will he elevate Man United? It's a punt. It's a risk. I'd say it would take him a couple of years. You know, we have to look at things in a way that, is he better than what we have? You know, maybe slightly, but not significantly. So we need a Gyokeres, we need an Osman, we need a striker like that, someone experienced, you know. Freya, Ephraim, sorry. If we do not buy proper players, we do not do anything to them, any managers. Exactly, mate. Freya, if Rashford is going to Barcelona or we will remain at the club due to the current injury, I don't want Rashford back, to be honest with you, mate. I would rather Rashford be sold. I don't want him at the football club. I'd rather sell him for peanuts, get rid of him, you know. I'd rather sell him now. You know, I have nothing against him, but, you know, he's just not that thing. Steve, I guess if Garnacho could shoot either side of the goalkeeper, or Højlund could stand in the right place and the goalie, it would catch the ball, could give us an extra 18, 20 points. Steve, if I had wheels, I'd be a bike. You know, you can't teach these things to players at that age. You either got it or you haven't. Garnacho could improve. Of course he can improve. Rasmus, however, is 23. Rasmus should know where to pee in the box. You know, he should be at the pinnacle of his powers right now. You know, Garnacho, Ahmad, and players like that can improve. They're 20 years old. They can improve. Dorgu, Mainu, all can improve. But Rasmus Højlund, though, is 23. He needs to do better. The only players I care about keeping are Euro, Mainu, and Ahmad. There you go. What about De Ligt? You don't want to keep him? What about you? Let me have a look. Let me think about it. I mean, what about, obviously you don't mean the youngsters as well, like Aiden Heaven and players like that, Johnny. Of course you want to keep them. Sal, do you think we have to replace every player that can go? Sal, do you think we have to replace it? No, we're not. We need to trim down the squad. We're not going to do that, unfortunately, but we have to trim down the squad. Amram isn't scared of a toxic environment. He entered one at sport. No, absolutely. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Obviously, United is a bigger job, but he has the blueprint for a rebuild. Spot on. Jengus, love it, my friend. Very good comment. It's spot on. Shane, yeah, I would have Delap, but as a second striker. I agree, Shane. We need more than one striker in case he gets injured, isn't it? But it's 30 million. It's a good price for him. But will we do that? I highly doubt it, you know. Even though it's a godsend, I highly doubt it. Beef. In terms of goals, Sal, Delap and Cunha give us 27 goals because it'd be a lot better than what we have, Beef Bully, but it's not anywhere near the level we have. If Arsenal sign Gyokeres and we get Delap, I mean, obviously, football doesn't deal with absolutes. Football isn't exclusively down to what we think. He might come into Man United and be an absolute baller, an absolute and revitalize, be a breath of fresh air and change Man United's fortunes, you know? Be a revolution at Man United. You never know. Cunha replaces Bruno if it's no big deal. I think he needs to replace. I think Bruno needs to go now. I think Bruno for his own sake as well. Against City, Sporting, despite having less possession of the ball, they transitioned quickly with decisive passes and runs to destroy City. Exactly. And that is Ruben Amram Ball, the real one, of course. The real Ruben Amram Ball. I would enjoy watching Cunha and Bruno play together, but I am about 80% sure Bruno's leaving. Yeah, good. Yeah, I think so. I think he would. I think he's not going to miss out. Man United won't miss out on that money either. I think the ball sells Bruno, Garnacho, and Mainu all profit. Sad though, isn't it, Shashwa? It's sad though, isn't it, mate? When you think about it, but that's life. The real issue is making sure by September 1st, Rashford, Sancho permanently left. I agree, Box. That's true. Very true, mate. Very, very true. Højlund has to be the first player to leave the club throughout this season. He's looked like he wanted to play football when he's looked like he want to play football. When Xerxes came in the final, you saw it different straight away. I agree, Shane. I've given Rasmus Højlund all the support over the last few months, guys. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I just don't think he's a Man United striker. I'm sorry. But what wouldn't surprise me, Shane, is if he left Man United and he starts banging in the goals. And then we're going to, revisionism starts coming back. And then I would sell him, but we have to sell him for 42 million to comply with FFP. I would get what we can for him and forget FFP and PSR for now. And just spend the money. Forget everything else. Stephen, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you back. I would go shopping at Atlanta. They're really good. Yeah, Retigi, and probably get a swap deal for Højlund plus cash for the Ederson. Good. Stephen, love it, mate. I would do the same. Retigi's fantastic. Underrated. Guys, I've been talking about Napoli players as well. A lot of people are talking about McTominay, but Napoli in general. They have some leaders in that team, guys. Di Lorenzo, guys. Players like that. They have some leaders in that team. Proper leaders in that team. Are you happy seeing Garnacho in it? No, I'm not happy, Frere. Not happy at all. I never thought that Man United should be sending our best young players. But if a player becomes toxic, what can you do? Box. Also, make sure surpluses squad guys like Binder, Malacia, etc. are gone too. It frees up space in the squad for the academy players. I agree, Box. One thing's for certain, Ineos have got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I would hope that they are on it right now. I would hope that they're making deals right now as we speak. Because I hope they're not at the beach somewhere. I hope they're not on holiday, because we need to be getting on with it now. You know what I mean? We really do. Johnny, I don't include the actual youngsters on the list, and maybe we keep Delict too, but Johnny, you're not wrong, mate. There's players in this squad that I've lost all affiliation for them. I've lost all respect, Johnny. What I saw on Wednesday as a fan of nearly 40 years, it was one of my most embarrassing moments as a football fan I've ever witnessed. To lose in a whimper like that to Tottenham. Not only Tottenham, guys, a weakened Tottenham. The weakest Tottenham side I've ever seen. To lose to that Tottenham side, it was like a dagger. I tell you, you should have seen me on the stream at the end. It was awful. I was shocked. Because I saw before the game, I saw all the noises, the relaxation, the players talking out, the inspiring quotes and things like that. I saw all of that. But when it came to the game, as this club always do, these players always do, they talk a good game. When it gets to the game, they're like little mouses. That's what they are. Ephraim. Sal, what is the future of Mainu? Up in the air at the moment, Ephraim. There will be another contract negotiation. Mainu has rejected the first offer of a contract, which is not good. So we will be looking at giving him another meeting in regards to the new contract, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But it's not looking good, bruv. Definitely not. It's not looking good. Jengas. Ericsson, Lindelof, Evans contract expire, makes room for youth and free up wages. Yep, they're going. 3 players already are going. We knew that. I forgot Xerxes. I'd keep him too. Big up, Johnny. Absolutely. Big up. Freya. Cunha will be introduced as United player tomorrow after the game against Villa. Who said that, Freya? Who said that? Let's wait and see. I would keep Mainu. It's not been a here we go yet, so I'll keep Mainu. Feel like he can still be great in this team. Garnacho just has a massive ego, can't finish and play with this team. Shane, I agree. Mainu don't just lose it after one season, I like Mainu. Any player that who wants to be a distraction, any player that wants to open his mouth to the media and disrespect the team and bring the manager and bring the team and the club into disrepute, make them leave. Go. You want to leave? Go. There's the door. Go. I mean, it's not like they're just won the Premier League title, is it? You know what I mean? We come 16th. No one should be invincible in that team. Box, Højlund will become a better centre forward, but it's only wrong by a 20-year-old at the time be sole number one. Box, I come from a generation, where, players made things happen for themselves. What I would say is that Højlund should go on loan. Rasmus Højlund should go on loan. He should go to Italy, back to Italy, go to Germany, somewhere like that, pick up his form, get some goals, get some confidence. And we'll see what happens, of course, Box. Cengiz, Shane, I don't think Manu wants to stay and fight. Yeah, I mean, he's looking for a way out at the moment. He's rejected a new contract. Absolutely. Gladiator, I'm slowly accepting that we are a mid-table club. I'm not accepting anything like that, mate. And we shouldn't either, because that's what the Glazers want you to say, Gladiator. They want you to say, I've accepted being a mediocre club. They want you to say that. Keep the energy. Keep the energy. You've got to keep the energy. They want you to say we're a mediocre club, we're a mid-table club. Of course, they're going to want you to say that. We should not accept that. Never accept that. Never accept it. We're going to raise the heat on these guys. Don't worry. Absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, do you rate Mateta? Very much so. I've always have, mate, even before he signed for Crystal Palace. Worst Tottenham side since 1998 points wise. Tottenham were much better, mate, back then. They had Les Ferdinand, David Ginola. They had a good team back then. That was destroyed this team. Box. Almost stopped us winning the league. Praisen, sources are Ruben Amorim wants players with pace, power, and yeah, I read that one. Thank you so much, Praisen. I praise you like I should. Vitek Gamaben is a good backup keeper for Man United. I agree, Conrad, we should bring him back. Absolutely agree with that. I think it's a long goodbye for Amorim. He won't get back. He won't get top six. No one will then, will they? No one will succeed then, will they? Jenga, Sal, Tottenham are shite, but let's be real. Their back five was better than ours, apart from Euro and Dorgu. I agree, Jengas. And that's disgrace, isn't it? That's what I'm disgraced about. You be right, and something massive happens after the game. Bruno leaving would be massive. I think something massive is going to happen, Charlie, after the game. I'm hearing something. Someone told me at Man United, something big is going to happen after the Aston Villa game. It may be the first few days. It may be 24 hours. It may be 3 weeks. Lucky, I'm not sure Collier is rated by Amorim, to be honest. He's been injured, Jengas. He's been injured. He moved on like I do Collier personally. I like Collier as well. I think he's been injured, though, badly. I think he's got a thigh problem. For me, I would keep Xerxes, something like that. Antony was never 100 million mistake. 100 million we lost. Absolutely agree with that. Spot on. Box. Amorim had humble, hard-working players at Sporting. Absolutely. He may lack some talent, but fully committed to the system philosophy. Must wear low wages. I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. I agree. He would have been a lot better, Gladiator. Absolutely. He would have been a lot better than Rasmus this season. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. You're absolute legends. Shane, I just hope we don't get rid of Amorim's system. Looked unstoppable at Sport. I agree, mate. I agree. On that comment, fantastic, mate. I'm off. Please don't forget to keep your notifications on as well, guys, in case I go live, any updates and stuff like that. It's not over, guys. I'm doing the Aston Villa game tomorrow. I'm doing a watch-along tomorrow, so don't miss that. I'm also doing the friendlies between an Asian All-Stars and Hong Kong. So, guys, mad, isn't it? Guys, take it easy. Have a good one. After Aston Villa game, big announcement, Qatar. Oh, mate, Randy, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, mate? Do you know what I mean? Be lovely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a great time and Saturday night. Just relax this Saturday night. Do you know what I mean? Watch TV. Have something to eat. You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Take it easy. Peace.